I'm in Margate manager Ben Greenhalgh after his side's 2-2 draw with Faversham tonight, Hartstown Park. Ben, 97th minute equaliser conceded. Frustration, the word tonight?
Yeah, look, it's one of them. I think it not was it coming. They put a lot of pressure. We got to 2-0, and we did go flat a little bit. So there's levels of our own game that we can look back at and maybe analyse and say, could we have done this better? Could we have had a bit more energy in there? It did go flat, but at the same time, they're unbeaten in the league, and you can understand why. They just load it into areas and are very effective. Great runners off them. Like Woody was here, we know how good Woody is. He's well above this level, and to be fair, any the big man up top was causing problems, and it's one of them. You felt like it was a lot of pressure, but towards the end, you're like, we're going to see this through, and it's so frustrating for a final ball into the box for them to have scored from that. There's other elements to it, like I think TT's fouled right before it goes to them, and that's me being picky, and I don't want to start blaming that because I think there was a lot of pressure coming from them. But then when things don't go your way, there's a little bit of bad luck to it, and I feel like, well, could we have got that decision? You're then in the 97th minute having your own free kick to get it into a corner. 7 minutes at a time, that's a lot of time. I haven't seen a game be like that this year. I know last year they changed the rules and went for loads of extra time. I don't think we've had a game over 4 minutes at a time in the second half. So you just felt like we were trying to see the game out, probably trying to see the game out for too long, and I don't think that was a game plan. It just naturally, they put a lot of pressure on us, and I think there's been a few occasions like that this year where you're up in the game quite comfortably and teams just throw everything at you in this league, and maybe there's a level we look back and go, should we now actually keep going at them and be even more aggressive and try and take it to 3-0? But at 2-1, there was chances for us to see the game out. We had a couple of good chances and they didn't fall in, and you're almost like you're backing it and going fair play, like we're still grafting, working hard, and we're still 2-1 up, but we put those chances away that the game is done. So a team that was always going to come and probably affect us in a positive way. Just disappointing, like we said, we were 2-0 up. I think the game plan was really good, just got a little bit flat towards the end.
I just want to touch on the point there you made about some results so far this season here in particular, being in the lead by 2, sometimes even 3 goals, and on one occasion you rescued us right at the very end with a late goal to win it 4-3. But it always seems to be tense and tight when at 2 or 3-0 up. It probably shouldn't be like that. Is that a concern for you that it's now 3 or 4 times it's happened here at Hartstown Park?
You've always got to look into it. So in terms of being concerned, no. But in terms of actually, has it happened? Obviously, yes. So we've got to look into it and understand why has that happened and analyse why that has happened. And there are 2 elements to it. Like I said, teams do throw it all at you. I think in the leagues above, they continue their game style. They don't leave themselves so open. And sometimes I think we're a little bit too honest. We're a bit too honest and eager to try and defend and get back in. And we've got attacking players that are dropping in to try and help out. And the harsh reality is, when you're doing that, it's then how do we then break forward? And I think there were quite a few moments like that in the second half. There was a spell where we were dealing with every cross. I think from about 60 to 75, we were dealing with every cross, but we couldn't get out. And there's another way of looking at it, and maybe we are all dropping in too much and too eager to defend. But at the same time, the quality levels probably did drop a little bit at 2-0. And look, we've had a tough little run. Eastbourne away is obviously a tough game, and annoyingly today, look, we're getting players back, which is good, but still players look leggy. Like we had to bring Gibbs off there, where he's obviously only his first couple of games back. E-Man's had to come off, which is obviously a big loss. Knighty wasn't quite available in the end. So when you think of it, and you're losing that aerial threat, that made a difference. That did make, and even someone like a Tom Derry today would have been effective. When you just know what they're going to do, they're going to throw it at you and win headers, and it's just so frustrating that you're in the final minute, there's a ball loaded into our box, and you just want someone to deal with it, anyone, and the game is won. And the harsh reality is they got their head to it first, and then they end up getting a point out of us.
And you look at the league table tonight, having played 12 games now. We were looking at it before this interview actually. Out of the top 11, of which we are one of them, of course, we've played 7 of them 11 teams. So it has been a very tough start to the season, hasn't it? And you look at tonight, Faversham, they're 3rd, they're unbeaten. We've played them now twice for the whole season, so we're done with them. Do you look at that now and go, actually, all right, we may not be on the points tally we wanted, but we've had a tricky start, and moving forward we have some games against teams, not to be disrespectful, but down the bottom half of the table now?
I think the league's got better in terms of, look, we've lost Ramsgate, who obviously were a good team in the league, and And Burgess Hill were a pretty strong team in the league as well. But I do think in general, you look at Faversham are a promoted team, Whiteleaf were a promoted team. So the teams that have come into the division, and we said it from the start of the season, are strong. And they're giving it a good go, and they've got some really experienced, good players that are probably above the level. So I think the division is better. So that might be why there's points sort of going a little bit astray, and we haven't got as many points as what we would have liked, and probably did have last season. I'd probably spin it a little bit and go, in all those games, I think we looked a little bit slow at the start of the season, and probably your Sittingbourne away is one that we can say we weren't quite at it enough, even though we still had the chances to draw that game. I don't feel like there's been a game where we haven't deserved something out of it. I feel like every game that we've warranted something. The one that I almost want to ignore for the season was Sheppey away, because we had so many unavailabilities and people sort of dying for the cause when they weren't right to play. The Croydon one at home, like we spoke about, the FA have apologised to us where they should have given us 2 penalties, a red card and 2 yellow cards, and that obviously would have been a probably at least a win, let alone an even more positive win. So I think when you look at the performances have been good, and that was it's just frustrating today because it was there, the levels were there, we went 2-0 up, 2 really good goals again. Second goal was really well worked, and that was a pleasure to see. I've watched that one back and it was good. It's just they loaded it on us for 30 minutes and frustratingly, maybe this time last season we would have dealt with that, but then at the same time we probably at this time last season we weren't scoring as many goals. So there's been a bit of a switch where we're playing a bit better football, we're pressing a little bit higher, we're scoring more goals, but sometimes that means we're a little bit more open, and like you said, we've got to get better at seeing games out. That is definitely a thing, and credit to them for throwing at us. But when I look at it, I think we're now going to look at it and say, let's just keep taking it to teams. We're at home, people are enjoying watching us. I think generally our last 4 or 5 home games we've been really good for the money that people are paying to watch. It's just the final 30 minutes we did fall flat, and was it inevitable? Possibly, but it felt like we were going to see the game and have a really good 3 points on our hands.
And I know you become a dad again on Saturday, but when you put your head to the pillow on Friday night, maybe lots of things going through your head, but 4 points from them 2 games that were coming up, we probably would have taken that. Yeah. I mean, maybe slightly tinged that we were 2-0 up tonight, but 4 points from the 2 games we've had, you must be pleased with that return.
Yeah, look, obviously on the Sunday I watched the whole game back and got loads of feedback Saturday night anyway. Where obviously I had a hectic Saturday, but got a lot of feedback and watching the game, and we put in a really good performance there. We lacked a bit of sort of final third quality where we had moments where we should have been scoring, but in the end the job was done. It's a brilliant goal from Max to get us the win, and it was a last minute winner. It's a shame we've been done with it tonight, and there is that luck element in football, and I feel like we deserved to get the 3 points, but then they also deserve to get a point out of us. If you understand, where we're 2-0 up, we probably did see it out for too long. Felt like we were going to do it, but just not. But like you said, 4 points from that is good. But now we have to go to Deal and win at Deal. Now we have to go the following week back here and against Beckenham and win against Beckenham. And look, that's the mentality that we want to sort of set in the changing room. I think we understand how we're playing now. I think the performance levels are good. And I think we at the moment we were good for our money in terms of getting a good points ratio.
That's brilliant. Thanks for your time tonight, Ben. Unlucky tonight.
Thank you.